Good morning, Namibia. Welcome to my Zone Online School. My name is Piers Akanime, and I'm with Chanel in the studio. Chanel, let's quickly take our sanitize, and we sanitize our hands. We rub neatly into our hands, inside and outside. And remember to keep our social distance. Hands on math. Our topic for today is multiplication and division number relationship. Boys and girls, let's go on page 8. Our competency for today. The first one is relate multiplications and division as inverse operation. Second competency, we have to apply commutative property of multiplication. And the last one, we have to apply associative property of multiplications. Multiplication and divisions as inverse operations. What does this mean? Inverse operations means an operations that reverse the effect of another operation. The inverse operation of multiplication is division, and the inverse operation of division is multiplications. So what does it mean? Boys and girls, let's go on board with the first example. Number 1, we have 5 times 10. What is our answer? 5 times 10 is equal to 50. Good. So, inverse operation is the same as we have 50 divided by 10. What will be our answer? Is 5. That's what we call inverse operation. Boys and girls, I want you to put it in your mind and work it out accordingly. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Boys and girls, we are still on page 8. Hands on math with commutative property of multiplications. If you want to find the answer of any two numbers, you multiply them in any order. This is what we call the commutative property of multiplications. Meaning, when we apply commutative property of multiplications, we first switch the number around and then we multiply it together. But the value or the product stay the same. Boys and girls, let's get on board. The first example. Example 1, we have 10 times 9. What is our answer? 10 times 9 is 90. Good. Remember that we have to switch the number around and we multiply them together. But the product should stay the same. So when we are switching the number, we start with 9 times 10. And our product will stay the same. Boys and girls, we are done to apply commutative property of multiplication. Thank you. Stay tuned. Boys and girls, let's go on page 9. Hands on math with associative property of multiplication. This property lets you rearrange numbers when you have more than 2 numbers in a calculation. Choose numbers which are easy to multiply and group them together. When we apply associative property of multiplications, we group numbers together, so when it's multiplied, it will give a multiple of either 10 or 100 or 1,000. Boys and girls, let's get on board with the first example. For example, We have 6 times 15 times 5. Good. We have to apply associative property of multiplications. Good. So remember to choose the two numbers that are easy to multiply and group them together. In this case, we take 6 times 5. Group them together. Times 15. Remember the 15. Good. So, what is our answer? 6 times 5. Chanel, what do we get? 30. So, then, the 30 that we get, we still multiply it with 15. So that we can get the final product. So, when we multiply 30 times 15, we get 450. Boys and girls, that is our final answer of 450. That is our product. So we are done to apply the associative property of multiplications. Boys and girls, I want you to go through the example of B, C, and when you are done with that, when you master the method, we can go for activity. What does the activity say? Number 1, apply inverse operations, whereby we have in A, we have 5 times 6. So, what will be the answer with division, which will give us 5? B, 7 times 9. What is our answer? And the inverse operation of that, and the answer will be 7. C, 80 divided by 10. What will be the answer? And the inverse operation is multiplication, whereby we will get 80. D, 42 divided by 7. What will be the answer? With the inverse operation, the answer will be then 42. Boys and girls, work it out. Number 2, we are going to use commutative property of multiplication to calculate. A, 3 times 13. Apply commutative property. B, 50 times 4. Apply commutative property of multiplication correctly. C, 240 times 5. Apply the commutative property of multiplication. Boys and girls, I want you to get it correct, please. Number 3, use associative property of multiplication to calculate A, 5 times 13 times 6. What will be the answer? But remember to apply the associative property. B, 2 times 6 times 25. What will be the answer? C, 4 times 7 times 5. You should apply associative property. Boys and girls, that is our end of the lesson for today. Chanel, let's take our spray and then we sanitize our hands inside and outside. And remember to keep this social distance. Bye-bye, Namibia.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time, bye!